A powerful feature within Excel is the AutoFilter. Now this is very useful when you have a spreadsheet that contains a lot of data, such as this example here. Now what we can do here is filter this out to find and display only the entries that we require. So for example, if we look in this column here, we've got the departments, and we might want to say we're only interested in the engineers department. So what we would do is you click your mouse anywhere in the data set. Doesn't matter where it is. Some people think you have to select the data. You don't. You just need to click somewhere inside. Once you've selected that, you can then move up to the data ribbon, and around the center of that ribbon is a large button called filter. It's got a picture of a funnel. If you click on that, you'll notice what it does. It turns on these combo boxes beside each of the headings. And if we click on the one next to the department heading, it drops down a context menu, and at the bottom you'll see it has each department listed in that column with a tick. Now what we want to do is to find all of the engineer departments. So we can deselect all of them by clicking on the tick here, select all. That deselects all of them. We can then put a tick just beside engineer. Now you can see, because we have tick boxes, we can select multiple items that we may wish to filter. If we click OK, you'll notice immediately the whole data set is filtered to show just the engineer departments. Now one thing you may notice is that it doesn't remove the items you're not interested in. What it does, it hides those rows. And if you look at the numbers on the far left hand side, you will notice that the numbers don't go in sequence because it's hiding the rows that don't contain engineer. I could then print this or copy and paste this information somewhere else. Now once you've done a filter, you can clear the filter by moving to the button at the top here called clear, and it's just next to the funnel. If I click on clear, it brings back all of the records it had hidden. Now what if we want to do multiple filters? Now this is where the power of Excel really comes in. The auto filter is great for doing this. If we click on the department again, and this time we've decided we want to see the payroll and the sales department. So once again we deselect all of the ticks by clicking on the select all. Then we can click on the checkbox next to payroll and next to sales. Once that's done, we can click OK. You'll now notice that all of the payroll and sales are displayed. Then we want to do a different column. This time we're only interested in the payroll and the sales of those in London. So what we can do is move to the column called location, click on the combo box, and again at the bottom it shows us one of each unique values of everything in that column, and we got the 4 locations. Once again I shall deselect all of those and then just put a tick beside London. We can then click OK, and that will then filter, so we're left with just the London, sales and payroll. We can clear that again by clicking on clear. And one thing I want to show you is all the other features available to you. If you want to use auto filter on another column, Excel knows the type of data you have in that particular column. For example, if we look at the salary column and click on the drop down, it's got all of the salaries down the bottom, but if you look here there's one called number filters. In other words, Excel knows that in that column, the salary column, are all numbers. So it gives us this number filters, and when we go over that, we'll see it pops out another menu that has all these presets: equals, does not equal, greater than, less than, between, and you can choose one of these, type in the numbers you require, and it will filter that range. We even have things such as top 10. Now we could choose that to say, for example, I want to see not necessarily the top 10, I can change it to the top 5 highest salaries. We've also got a couple of presets called above and below average. Now if I move my mouse over to the dates, now this column here contains dates. Now although this is a column that contains date of birth, if this was an order date, an invoice date, this would be very useful, because when you click on the combo box, you'll see now it's no longer called a number filter, it's called a date filter. And as soon as you hover over that, you can see the menu that flies out gives you all of these things, such as equals, before a certain date, I only want to see dates after or between two dates, I only want to see the orders coming in tomorrow or today or yesterday, next week, last week, next month, this quarter, next year. So you have a whole range of dates you can choose from. Of course, a nice feature in here is that if you can't find what you want in the checkboxes, you can always search it. For example, if we go into the surname, click on that. Now it always shows you unique values down the bottom. Now the problem with that is that if I had 10,000 customer names, then I'd have 10,000 checkboxes here, and it takes a little while to untick the ones you don't want. So you can use this search area here, click in here and begin to type and watch what happens to the checkboxes. If for example I was looking for the surname Jackson, as soon as I type the letter J, it brings up only the surnames that begin with the letter J. The more I type A, C, and it comes down to just what you have here. Now this could be useful if you had things such as postcodes, towns, counties or countries, or even products that you want to find very quickly. If I click OK, it gives me just the Jackson name. Once again, to clear this, you can click on clear, or alternatively, if you've finished using the auto filter, you can click on the large funnel to turn this off, but also remove any filters that are active. Another clever feature of AutoFilter is that not only can you search by words, dates, numbers, time, but you can also search by colour. Now on the sheet here, I've changed it so that certain rows are highlighted in yellow to indicate those people that are due for retirement. And if I want to see a list of all the people that are going to retire, I can use my filter. So again, I click on the funnel, that turns on my menus, my combo boxes next to each of the headings. I could then choose any one of these because the colour is on every column. So for example, if I choose first name, you'll notice one of the options you have is filter by colour. So as well as filtering, as I said, by text and numbers and dates, you can filter by colour. Now I've only got one colour on mine, but if you had multiple, overdue accounts, deliveries due in, then you could choose a different colour. Now if I choose this yellow, it then filters just those that are showing yellow, and that is the auto filter.